Venezuela, we had done it part time. In here, we're doing it full time. So we arrived in a situation where it was very limited because our goal was to generate at least $300 to cover our basic needs, and then per month we earned 420 only by retail. However, from day number one, we started to do the 5 steps, which is 5 behaviors: using the product, distribute, invite people to the business, recruiting people, do follow up, and teach by example. So this gave us it gave us a light that the first month we surpassed our goal. So this was spectacular because from there, 6 months only, we lived on retail sales, but doing the 5 steps with a business center and everything. Something wonderful that by 6 months we were able to get our documents. We collected our first commissions. That was spectacular because it was almost $3,000 for those 6 months of work, plus what we had already saved by the retail. We purchased our first vehicle. Well, it was a used vehicle, but we travel from point to point in Ecuador. So this really helped us in our growth. So from there, something very important is just a part of that we're going to share with you today is that we never left the business center. First, we went to the business center for distributors. It was very kind to allow us to be there. And then we joined the Welven and Sandras, and then we developed the business to the max. And then we opened our own business center. And a tip that I really love sharing is that I told Catherine, let's open another business center now. And I believe that our earnings were in about $700 $800 by check. And I said, let's open our office. And at that moment, we had to make an investment of about $1,500 to be able to set it up. And monthly, we had to have more or less $500, $600. And then we dared to set it up. In spite that in the business center where we were going or we were using, it turned out that sometimes they had our own distributors, maybe some or others didn't even arrive. But taking that step helped us to our team saw the leadership that actually we were actually serious, and we started growing and started working. So that was wonderful because from then on we started having better results. We for about 2 years, we almost 3 years, we had a physical business center, and however in that moment this is where we started mixing virtual with a face-to-face because we had our business center. However, many of our guests were brought in through Facebook. We also put advertisement in the newspaper, so we started to do a hybrid. So when we had the situation that we all know, we're all going through the pandemic, and Catherine, well, what I want to say something very important before I lose the idea. Of course, good evening for something very important that Anderson was talking about. Since the beginning, we began with the business center. At the beginning, we would go to a place and then we were able to open our own. But after that, even besides opening our own, we're still promoting that for our leaders, our main lines or strong leaders to start their own business center. Not everybody's together, yes, at the beginning, but when they started seeing their own results, well, they said, well, it's time for you to open your own business center. And then most of them, and if all our lines have had their own office, and of course, when the pandemic started, especially Anderson was going to say about what did we decide? We decided to make decisions. The main decisions that say we have to continue. This is temporary, of course. And what did we do? Well, we went through Zoom. We all would meet, and something that we have already liked is the team is very dynamic. Everybody, all our leaders are super dynamic and super open. Very good relationship between everybody. And what we have done is ideas. A storm of ideas and ideas that you have, we can share them. And so we have fused all the offices. We fused them in on single one, and that was an amazing pull because we started to replicate it, what one or the other was doing, and everybody was aware of what everybody was doing. So we've been working together that way. So it has been having amazing results. This was a change, but we adapted, obviously, in March of last year. Well, as Diego was saying, we weren't doing badly. We were gold supreme, but we were more or less at $6,000, $7,000, which was spectacular, and that allowed us also. And I would like to tell you, as a result, when we arrived here, we arrived at a apartment. We had a room outside. We had a kitchen, dining room, living room. Everything was together. But we also visualized we always visualized where we wanted to live as Gold Supreme. We were able to purchase our own apartment and live in the area we wanted to live in. And I remember, and this is a message for everybody who's beginning. It takes time. Be clear on what you want to dream of. Visit your dream. Everything. Something that I really loved doing is helping people to visit their dreams. Catherine, what is this? Catherine would drive around this area and would pretended that we lived here, and so this is, I invite people to visit their dreams. If their dreams is to have a car or buy a lot or travel, go as if you were going to the airport, even though, but you're visiting the dream. And this is something that kept your light on. And of course, with our desire, the burning desire to move forward to work. And this is very important. We achieved that. The pandemic came. And I confess, before the pandemic, we have been working already with a virtual side. We didn't work with Zoom much. We held meetings every 10 days, every week sometimes. But everything was done 100% in the face to face in the business center. We got the pandemic and everything changed, and then we said 100% virtual. Wow, we started. And we first thought it was going to be 2 weeks and maybe a month tops, and it turns out that everything has extended for a year and a half now. And this gives the opportunity to start teaching. And of course, we made the decision we're going to teach a lot of people who had not taken this virtually, to teach them step by step how to handle Zoom, how to work Zoom, to be able to put publications to that can reach more people, to teach them how to use a cell phone, and all of this. And something that we have learned is that it depends on the needs of the people, also the age. And I can share with you that I don't want to say that sometimes the older people need to be worked more on, because we have worked with people who learn very, very quickly, who are 50 years old, but they actually learn very quickly. And there's sometimes younger people who don't learn that quickly. Sometimes people say this person who is young, he can start working immediately with social networks, and sometimes there's a lot of distractors in social networks. Some people sometimes start putting up a promotion or publishing, and maybe have a video or news or training, for example. I invite people who are going to be working in a business center, who are to focus on the work plan that they have with their leader, or if they are leaders already, will focus Tuesdays, Wednesdays trainings, the events, of course, promote all the events in Omnilife. Is also very important to have a defined plan, because within the virtual world, there's a lot of distractors. We have had distributors that they have had a moment of said, okay, it hasn't happened to me, I can correct that. And maybe there's a training session, and they start watching the training session, and they don't do the work that they're supposed to do. And what have we found in older people? Well, they're more disciplined. We have to make this payment, we have to answer quickly. And so the people who are older know that they have to do the same. This is like a balance that has helped us to generate between, or to achieve with both parts these results that we want. So, and a marvelous thing that we have learned, well, what happened after that if we started doing this work? From March, then in June, almost a year now, we qualified to the diamond level. And of course, this was a boom, because I call it like the promised land. All the distributors in Omnilife who's in love with this project, their vision is to reach the level, diamond level. Why? Because is a minimum of $1,000 per month. So with this quantity of people, you earn, of course, $10,000 a month. Of course, I'm sorry, and so your dreams are closer at hand. Something very important that Anderson is saying, that everybody say when we began, or suddenly if we've been here and for a while. Well, I do my social networks. I'm doing the work too, so I believe that something that I want to share with you that's very important is that let's not confuse. Um, what is it? Uh, uh, Activity with productivity, because sometimes we think that if we're busy, then doing a Zoom, another Zoom, or maybe in WhatsApp, or maybe are doing social networks, but actually I'm not. It means that we have to be very careful, because a very, very fine line where we can, one moment you think you're focused, and all of a sudden the day went by, you didn't do a thing, and you can't do a checklist because you I said I did do a follow-up, but no, I was on Zoom, or I was on Facebook. Oh, this other girl got married, and we can be distracted in a very incredibly. So something very important that we have to take into account when you do work from home, or you have your office at home, you do a home office. What do we do in the morning? We get up how? At 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, 12? Or what time do you get up? So I believe that if you're going to work in an office, in any office where you have to be at the office at least at 8 o'clock in the morning. So something very important is how we begin the day. So actually, if we want to reach diamond, I don't know, you know that the diamonds get up at 10 o'clock in the morning to be able to reach diamond? I really doubt it. So we have to start. Where do I start the day? Even the previous day, from the previous day, we have our planning, our plan for the following days, even for the week plan, even for the month, plan for the month. So the previous days, I always thinking, what do I have to do the next day? I try to place or do a follow up. Usually the 5 steps, you do them almost every day. Follow up. Okay, I have to do a follow up on this person, oh, in this line. Okay, right. We'll write it down. Okay, we have to do deliveries. Why? Because I love making deliveries. Okay, we have to do that. Some of them are outside the country, some of them in this city or outside the city. So I place them. So I organize my work day the day before, so I know where I'm going or what I'm doing. Because when we do work at home, sometimes you're cooking and you say, somebody called, somebody that our baby fell. So there's a lot of things that are going on in the house. Oh, I have to sweep, I have to mop. Oh, okay, there's endless things. That was my mom. She's calling me for asking me a favor. So my invitation is to plan out the day, because the day is not. It has to have a direction. We have to have plan for the day. Even, for example, Anderson is going to share some important points when you're doing Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. What behaviors do we have to have? From then, we have to eliminate anything, because I know, I'm sure that everybody who's watching us, even the one who began today, they're saying, "Ooh, this diamond level sounds beautiful. You earn very well." Okay, but we have to do certain things, and you have to have follow certain parameters to be able to reach that. Anderson, can you hear? What things do I have to take into account for our business centers to work? Normally, what we're doing right now is that you have to have a space in your home where you define the work that you're going to do. It be in the virtual part, because now we have the part of mixing virtual with face to face. And so imagine we have the virtual part, your office, you're going to have, if you're going to do Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Excuse me. If you're going to do Thursdays, and Saturdays, you have to present yourself very well. Many people, I see a lot of people who are in Zoom, they don't turn the camera on, and it wasn't, and so it wasn't important before to define your schedules. So if in Tuesday on 7 p.m. you have your business opportunity meeting. You have to be present. You have to all be all groomed and everything. If I say no, I don't have opportunity meetings. Okay, you don't worry, but you have to be there present to be able to tell your testimony. It's very important to tell your testimony so you can start growing and start advancing. Open your camera. If you have a guest, if that guest doesn't listen to your testimony, what's going to happen? Well, the person is going to say, well, what happened to the person who invited me? So this is a very well important. This is important that you very well prepare your groom. I'm wearing my Bermuda shorts. No, but I have to be well prepared. And it's very important to drink a product before the meeting. Our first step that we're living is the virtual part. What happens? There are people who are creating income, but doesn't can't buy computers, but they say, "Well, I want to invest in the business." Well, buy a computer, a phone, a light ring, or something. These are things that we have to invest on to have a proper office. And something is clarified the week when you're planning the week. What's going to happen? You know what? Um, Perfect. Yeah, I am in the part of. No, wait a minute. Okay. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Yes, can you hear me, Anderson? Yes, can you hear me, Anderson? Okay. Wait a minute. The truth is, I'm sorry that you came in exactly in part. That how are you organizing your week in the business center? How do you do it between the presential or face-to-face and virtual? I don't know if Ecuador you can receive people, maybe not, or maybe just a few, or maybe not yet. But beside that, how are you visualizing this, and how are you organizing your week to have this balance? What do you do face to face? What do you do virtual? This is what I'm interested in knowing. Yes, yes, perfect. So, well, in the virtual part, we're organized this way. In Ecuador, yet we're not allowed to hold events yet, but however, deliveries that we can do personally, we do them. Why? Because when we do these personal deliveries, we can either sign up the person or increase the sales. So for this, we have our affiliation kit products to be able, if a person decides to enroll themselves, they can do it. So another thing is an affiliation in our city. We try as much as possible to be face to face because when it's face to face, at least I can have the contact with the person. We create a better bond with the person. Why? Well, because looking at it, they can see us. If we do it virtually, I know a lot of us are doing it this way. Of course, the Omnilife system is wonderful, but in the measures possible, we can have a person face-to-face approach is spectacular. Of course, I love to prepare products and not only give them the maybe put OmniPlus once a mix Optimus and to even if they're a subscriber for Cyclone, I bring them bottom so they're prepared so they can have the connection and take advantage of that. So that part we're doing it, and we've had some meetings with leaders. Even a little while ago, we had a meeting for leaders. It's about 8 people were there. Even one of them traveled for 12 hours to be able to be present at the meeting, and it was wonderful. So yes, if it's necessary to be including in the future. What do I see? Well, in the virtual part, we have been able to expand internationally. So this is going to be wonderful. I see myself in a not very far future. If I see that in some countries it can be done to be in a presential face-to-face event. Unfortunately, we don't have the visa yet. We would have been in Miami, but it would have been. So this, when it happens, it's going to be a first face-to-face meeting. When in the future, I see myself saying, okay, I can have an office where in the office we can make a whole demonstration for Seitu, of course, with a limited number of people. I don't know, once a week and maybe every 2 weeks to be able to have that connection with the teams, and also in the measure possible, we can be visit. We have networks in other countries such as Colombia. We have in other cities, and we can say. I was telling Catherine that maybe one day I would say we're going to hold a meeting, get there and say we're going to have a meeting because many times what we talk about in the meetings is wonderful. Something that happened to me is that in an event we saw the event, we listened to the presentation, but many of the learnings sometimes came after the meeting when we say, I'm going to bring our guests to the airport, and they would say, oh, look what I have learned, or we go out to lunch. Of course, all these things are going to be coming. United States is the United States is showing us how this is going to happen. So it's important to see, to have this part visualized and take advantage of what we have right now. And the growth that we've had has been thanks to take advantage of the virtual part. This is going to be remaining. Imagine how we're going to have this 24-hour training, for example, as we're having today. Something very important is that Anderson began saying that we, of course, were based on the 5 steps. For example, a person begins in the business, or because he saw the virtual part, of course, maybe some people already can see each other on the store, for example. It's important that you have a store close by. We invite them to, if you are there 10 minutes there, well, I like to, through these 10 minutes outside the store, well, I say what for, to greet everybody, and maybe 2 or 3 people even after a person, after we're meeting them in person after a year, say, wow, and we feel like we've known each other for ages, and I can say, okay, well, let's toast with the product, or let's talk. And this is great to be able to have the direct contact with the people. Well, something very important that I feel is that regarding this 5 steps, we are based that on, it's the same thing. We believe that the business center, physical business center, as we used to have, right now what we're doing is to replicate this in a virtual way. We have our training, virtual training sessions on Wednesdays. We have a system already set as we used to have it in our office. So this is something that has helped us to remain focused. We have our fixed schedules. I'll say, okay, today I feel I'm not feeling a little well. Yeah, we'll do it at 5. No, tomorrow at 6. No, what we have done is to be constant. Come rain or shine, we're not going to be caught unawares with a business of opportunity business, because I know that we're going to have those at 7 p.m. I have to be prepared. I'm not going to be caught off guard, or in the supermarket or in the mall. No, I'm going to be very well prepared in my office, because I decided, and we have decided to do this seriously. So whoever decides to do this seriously, as we say, how have the 5 steps and do the 90 days plans. This is where we start the growth. The person who starts on day number 1, we do the training, personalized training, and of course this helps us a lot. What to now we're saving a lot of time. Why? Because we do very short videos. Before, we used to do everything. We would do all the trainings. Let's say the first training that we did, it was the first one. Okay, how are we going to do the Zoom? Okay, how are we going to handle the promotion list? How are we going to do retail with the surroundings? Okay, right now we have been leveraged with short videos. What for? So when a person joins, we can be telling, do this, do this, do that, and then we, through phone calls, we provide support, very much, a lot of support, because sometimes video calls, because sometimes not only the Zoom, sometimes the person is there and you can't be connected completely, and say, okay, we're doing an activity, but we're going to
Okay, so that is something that we have been doing, that we decided to train from day number 1 the best way possible, and also to teach them that your environment today, we go out and shop. Something I said, we go out and do shopping, we go to the supermarket, we go to maybe to have our hair cut. So we forget, and let's contact with the environment that we have. It's not only that it's just social network. There was a time when we did only social network, and I said 2 months without going out of my house, and I don't recommend that at all, because no, that's not healthy. So something that we also tell our teams, that most of them do virtually, we need to begin to experiment the environment with the measurements that we need to, with the measures that we need to take. But If right now we want to go and have our haircut, or maybe we want to go out and do shopping, let's use those moments to be able to talk. And yes, something important is within what we do in the office or business center, let's note that this is the heart of the business. To share with people the opportunity that people to get in. We want to increase our check. What do we need to do? We need to invite, we need to affiliate, and the best way is in the business center. Right now, is virtual business center is inviting, always having guests, prospect. The heart of the business is in the business center. What other thing is done within the business center? Personal training, what Catherine was saying, that suddenly you say, okay, I invite a new person, and there I program the training, and I'm going to teach him step by step. I train him in the products, in the discounts, the first bonus that you have, the Bronze Supreme, the rookie bonus, the 40%, the advanced, the Silver Supreme. All of these we are going to teach him, and it's key for you to develop it. And also teach our distributors what they need to do with each of these people. Something that we do is we try to be independent from the first day. It's not that we give him everything, we teach him. But once he has a new distributor, that person, we say, okay, do what you already know. Show him the products that you know, the ones that you have used. Show him how to make the new distribution. All of this is very important for you to have the multiplication. All of our line, most of it, have their distribution centers. And then after that, after we see growth, we see people, okay, you need to have your Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays to start multiplying. Something interesting also is, and that we promote a lot, is for the one that does the work from home or does the work from outside, is to have an investment from the beginning. The 10% of what you are generating, you can invest. Initially, we invested most of it, but I don't know. Sometimes it happens that we have a level and we want to keep on investing on the same with what we started. But no, it shouldn't be like that. People should also see a change. If, for example, when I began 3 months ago and I didn't have an Argoluz, or I don't know, I didn't have a computer, or I didn't have a space, I can start doing that now. Today, I'm very happy that we have a Supreme product that are new, and this Supreme product, last week we made a meeting and they talked to us about it. They said we feel really excited because we were able to buy ourselves our desk, and we were able to make a space in our house, and we had to take some decisions. What decisions? Well, first the office. First, we need to condition the office or the dining room. And I said, and what did you decide? No, the office. And so the office gave them money to buy the dining room, because not even a month went by for them to buy the dining room. And that excites me a lot. It's very exciting that doing your work the way it is, focused, I think that the results come by themselves. I have a question for you, which is very interesting. Can you hear me? Yes. How do you invite people that you sign virtually to your business center? Does it frighten you, or how do you take this step? Hey, I'm inviting you to my business center. How do you do that? Yes. Well, for example, a person enrolls, and we have trainings of the new people. And there in that training, we give them the indications to grow. You have that part of Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturday where you need to invite, and we show them according to their needs. If he says, I want to earn $500, we teach him how to distribute, but we show him that through forming their network of distributors, he will be able to grow. Many times people see it as a job, like this is your job. The beginning that has been, but I do have to go to all the meetings, but the trainings are how? No, I said wait. I love that the person goes to the meetings, because here we have a project for you to generate $10,000 a month. Only the ones who want to generate so much money need to come to the meetings. But there are people that say, no, yes, sure, I want to be there. There are others that are consumers, and many times in a trainer we invite them. But there we're going to talk about business, and also we're going to talk about results, and that is how they can get into the system, and then that will be spectacular. And how much do you need to invest in your business center? What size does it have to be? Do I need to have it? Do I need to rent a space? Or do I put something in my house? What would you tell me? Well, right now, Diego, it's very easy to have your virtual business center because it's at home. The face-to-face sessions, we don't speak about that yet, but the virtual part in a Zoom space is $15. A computer, for example, normally people have computer or your cell phone. Now an entrepreneur, went to the gold elite and now gold supreme, but he reached gold elite only working with his cell phone. He bought a tripod, he bought a light, and that didn't even cost $50. And there he has his virtual office. There he made his trainings. There he has his virtual business center. Now he has a desk and a computer, but it's very easy right now through the virtual manner to have it. I tell the people to have a space at home and this tool that can be starting with what you have because you don't have to wait for the perfect moment to begin. You have a cell phone, with that you can start. You want to pay your Zoom room $15 a month, and that allows you to train, to be able to have trainings with everybody. And something that we also say to a person when they are beginning is, how can you have the results? Because there are people that say, but Catherine, I want to do it in my free time. I work. And so we say, yeah, sure, of course, your schedule is fine. So we also work with the people, together with them. Or when they say, no, this is my job, well, welcome. Because if you listen to us, you're going to do really good. And from the beginning, we teach them that they can invest in publicity because we manage through publicity. The publicity is, the free publicity at the beginning, but then later we need to pay for publicity to be able to have more reach. And there is where we focus. But also, a person from the beginning, the first day that he begins, says, I would like to try with free publicity and the environment. But I'm sure that after a week of listening to the results of the trainings, he says, okay, what is that about the paid publicity? I'm also interested. So we let the people to walk in their own rhythm in the same trainings that we have. The same people, want to do different things that at the moment they began, it wasn't possible. For example, an investment that we say to this person, you may begin with $20 a week and pay for publicity. And then if we see that it is the earning of two products that you are going to invest to bring people, we, for example, like to invite through Say Two and begin with your business at home because from there they are going to have the prospects that I am going to bring to the office to give them, the chat about opportunities. So if you begin with $20 a week, you say, yes, I'm having results. Once the person is getting results, they say, okay, I'm going to invest 30 or 40, and then that part is going to increase. And something also is that we tell the person, minimum, we are going to make a work plan of 90 days. Yes, something important, for example, when we work a lot with a new person, is we talk about the environment. We try to have a diffusion list, and this diffusion list means that he's going to put all of his contacts. Before I used to have this list, I ask, a session, how many contacts do you have in your phone? Yes, I have 200. Okay, your diffusion list should be 200. But when we are making these diffusion lists to send them, we know what to send a person, a first-time person. We have specific messages and specific videos so that the environment knows that they are in Omnilife Say Do, and if he's interested in the business or the product. So the meetings at home, we've done many virtual meetings, and it's super because when they are beginning, they say, "Oh, remember the diffusion list? Well, 4 people are interested, and maybe can you help me to be able to see if they buy something?" And I said, "Of course." So we have made virtual meetings of products, of business especially, and it's great because a person that contacts at the beginning you don't know him, but as time goes by, we cultivate friendship, we cultivate getting together, and that person is going to let us reach many other people. So this is a world. Possibly we teach him, the virtual way, but also how to contact the environment. Not just say, "Hey, I sell say too." What we are looking for is this equilibrium. You are a great example of how to make a team in virtual and face to face. You are talking about paying for you go to the people, you present yourself, you show them your business center, and that's what we want to find. And you do it really well. I ask everybody to listen to what you do and how you talk. And just to close very quickly, what do you hope for this 2021 with a 2020 that was so extraordinary for you? Well, Diego, today we want to go for our own dreams. We want to bring the attitudes that we have had to be successful and to have results, and that they will also be able to chase them. A little while ago, a distributor had put on a video and shows and says that I began with Boost. My first goal was to buy a motorcycle, and now we have a car. And that is more exciting than even the results that we have. I visualize a 2021 with new diamonds, a 2021 with new levels, with new dreams, for the people to obtain them, and also to find those people that are looking for an opportunity. Because right now, like Pepe said, we are like the lifesaver of many people. We have an opportunity at our hands, and many people are saying, "I am looking for an opportunity. I am looking for something, how to overcome the situation," because many companies are not there. Many people have retired. Within our team, we've had people that have said, "They kicked me out of my job, but thank God I found this opportunity, and now I earn triple what I earned before." Our mission is to find those people, and I trust in God. And I say, put the right words in my mouth to reach that person and to expand more and reach to those 60, 70 million that Jorge Vergara said. And so dreams, we fulfill many, and we have many more. And the work that we need to do is help more people so that those dreams will come. Well, my final message, apart from keep on getting more people to join to this project, I say, well, let's go behind our team that has trusted in us, that has been faithful, a really working group and that the result will have an impact on them and on all the relationships, and their results will have an impact also in more people. And we want to say hello to the countries where we have teams: Ecuador, Colombia, USA, Argentina, and especially Venezuela, even though the opportunity with internet has opened a world for us. There is a team in Venezuela developing the business with excellent results. And thanks to this virtual era, it's been great. So thank you. Thank you, Caterina and Anderson. Congratulations for what you're doing. And we are going to hear a lot from you during this month and the future as great leaders that you are. Congratulations. and we'll see you soon.
Hasta luego.
Gracias. Saludos a todos.
Bien.